The chat comments are pretty funny, actually.
This is Sean Payton, head coach of the New Orleans Saints. What's with this Saints Happy Cast? This has to be the worst Saints podcast in the world. Ralph can't say anyone's name right. Andrew doesn't know football. Everyone has a hard time listening to Dave. And is Kevin even there tonight? The audio with this podcast, my God, the audio.
All right, everybody, welcome to Saints Happy Hour podcast. It is a disaster tonight. Thanks for joining us.
See, what Sean Payton should have said was the video. My God,
The video.
No, we're having audio issues too. Every week, every day.
Time
It's
like the first time, baby. That's why I tell y'all to be there for 8:50, because I need all 15 of those minutes to get this show, this ramshackle podcast, off and running. Hey.
Yeah, you can blame it on me. I was a little late. That's fine.
Listen. People don't need to see our ugly faces anyway.
How did you mess up the intro? There was something weird with the intro there.
Yeah, I hit I hit it and then I hit it twice and it turned off. So here's the thing. I got a problem with you people. All right. The guy who reported Clowney coming to the Saints.
Your shoe's about to come on the other foot, so you go ahead and get this out of the way first.
The guy that got the Clowney report all wrong. Y'all are giving him on Twitter, oh, it's okay, buddy. Get it. It's a hard job getting breaking news correct. It's hard. You're fine. You'll get him next time, buddy. You're going places. As soon as you finish that, all you people turn at me and are like, the cripple, drunk, guy with the speech impediment, it's all your fault, the Clowney. In with the Saints, not the guy who reported it wrong. No, Ralph, it's all your fault, and I don't appreciate that at all.
I want look, play the George Costanza, play the clip that I requested. You know, I was the only one who had any head on his shoulders.
Do you ever just get down on your knees and thank God that you know me and have access to my dimension?
Yeah, go ahead, Dave. Go ahead.
I mean, you know, and Andrew, shame on you for letting Ralph suck you into his black hole of Clowney love. I mean, it was like once you got within 800 kilometers, that's it. You just get sucked in. Yeah.
Well, you went metric there.
Yeah, you had one guy on Twitter. You put all your eggs in the one basket of whatever his name was, Nadir, whoever. I said, who does he work for? You said, oh, he doesn't work for anybody. I say, is anybody else corroborating this report that he's putting out? Well, Diana Rossini said it's between the Saints and the Titans. Oh, the Titans. Oh, that seems like a likely spot for him to go. Ralph says, no. What? It's too cold in Tennessee. That was his.
Yeah, and you know what happened next? You know what happened next?
Yeah, he went to Tennessee.
The Ralph Shuffle techno music. I tried to stop it. I tried to tell Ralph while it was happening, pull the plug, stop it. No more Ralph Shuffle.
No.
Because
you
jinxed it. I tried to warn you, Ralph. I tried to say you were jinxing it, and yet you wouldn't stop. And here we are.
You guys called me.
You jinxed it.
You guys called me a Grinch because I was thinking rationally, because I wasn't just flying off the handle and making crazy assumptions. I was the Grinch. You had me singing that song on the podcast.
Do you just want to play this?
Guys. Shame on you guys. And again, and don't forget Kamara too. Probably tomorrow, like you said, Ralph. Kamara's probably going to sign his deal. You guys were freaking out about.
Whoa! Don't jinx it, Dave.
Do you want me to play this?
I'm stupid. You're smart.
Yes.
I was wrong. You were right. You're the best. I'm the worst. You're very good looking. I'm not attractive.
All right.
Very.
As long as you're willing to admit that now.
I just want to say
And I just wait. Before you continue, Ralph, I just want to say, make sure you keep those sound bites handy for later in the podcast. To start talking about our undrafted free agents. I just want you to keep those.
Oh, here we
Okay,
go.
but continue with what you were going to say.
I just want to say this.
I regret nothing. The end.
Thursday was fun, and I don't care. It was fun, and
seems like a lifetime ago now.
It does. But hey, of course, on our biggest night where we probably have
would have been more fun if you hadn't jinxed it and Clowney was on the Saints.
Well, no. Here's the thing, though. It made me, when I read the report on Pro Football Talk today that Mickey Loomis had gotten
deflecting.
He was going to trade with Cleveland. He was going to use the Cleveland Browns salary cap to fit Clowney in the Saints, on the Saints roster. It was his Mona Lisa, Sistine Chapel, Starry Night, all in one, Andrew. And I'm sad that the NFL didn't understand Mickey Loomis's genius and didn't allow us this moment.
Yeah, you know what happened? Mickey Loomis got overconfident. I always said that Loomis math knew no bounds. Well, finally, he found a loophole that he couldn't exploit, and it's all your fault, Ralph. He probably listens to this podcast, and he's licking his fingers like Drew Brees used to do. He's licking his fingers thinking, what is Ralph going to say on the next Saints Happy Hour podcast when I pull this stunt? Yeah.
I mean, I would like to take a moment, and I think even though it didn't work out, just the fact that he had thought of this idea and attempted it, and let's just back up and let's just explain. There's a lot of people out there that probably don't actually read the articles; they just read the headlines. I mean, basically, what Mickey was trying to accomplish to get Clowney was he was going to have the Cleveland Browns sign Jadeveon Clowney for, I think they threw out like
$15
$5 million number, that, and have the Browns pay the $5 million bonus, because that would go against their salary cap this year, and the Saints cannot afford to have any money go toward their salary cap this year. So they were going to have the Cleveland Browns sign Jadeveon Clowney, have them take the cap hit, then they were going to trade the Saints were going to trade their second round draft pick to the Cleveland Browns for Jadeveon Clowney. So in other words, the Saints get Jadeveon Clowney, they lose their second round draft pick, and the Browns basically just pay $5 million toward their salary cap for a second round draft pick, that's a great deal for the Browns. I mean, but let's put it this way.
No.
You know, Florio wrote an article about it. He said something similar kind of happened with Brock Osweiler, but never like this. I mean, this was basically, Loomis is inventing shit. He is
he's making shit up on the fly.
He is on another fucking level. He is playing fucking chess when all the other fucking GMs are playing checkers. Loomis is playing 4D fucking chess, okay? He is coming up with shit with other teams. He's getting third parties involved to eschew the current salary cap hell situation.
We don't have any cap space. Can we give up a draft pick for it?
Regardless of whether he was able to pull it off or not, and look, I understand. I could definitely see why the NFL would want to put an end to this. It's a slippery slope.
You want to know why the NFL wanted to put an end to it? Because they were like, we can't have the Ralph Shuffle to techno music. We can't have that.
That's right.
That's where they draw the line.
But it didn't happen. The deal wound up not happening. But we have got to. I have a whole new level of respect for Mickey Loomis after this. I really do. I got to give it to the guy.
That was hard to accomplish.
Yeah, he's.
Well, here's the thing that I don't understand is, what does it matter what Cleveland wants to do with their salary cap space?
I agree. That's the thing is, this could, if this had gone through, this could have ended up going all the way to like the Fifth Circuit Court, like the same way that Jimmy Graham, whether he's a wide receiver or a tight end, could. I mean, because I think there's good arguments on either side. It's like
Well, the article,
there's no rule against this. They're not breaking any rule. If all the teams are involved are agreeing to this, all the stipulations involved, then fuck off. You can't say anything. You're not breaking any rules. But at the same time, the NFL, I'm sure they have some kind of authority that says we can veto anything at any point whenever we want, and we're doing it. So deal with it. So
Joshua Ford says in the chat that the monk techno music needs to be the new breaking news siren, which I kind of support.
And by the way, I want to thank Steven and Alex and Nick and Preston and Joey and John in England. Like, we had a massive amount of people sign up and join this shit show of a podcast all year, and we appreciate you. And my wife is working hard on the booze bundles. You'll be getting them at the end of the month, early October, for everybody that signed up in September. But
look, I feel like there's a lot of talk going on here, and it's really distracting from the fact that Ralph, you blew it. You blew it.
You may have jinxed the entire franchise.
Yeah.
You're like who was the guy that caught the foul ball in the Cubs?
Bartman.
You're like Bartman. You're fucking Bartman, dude.
At this point,
I think Andrew and I need to like walk off this podcast right now. We cannot be associated with you
That's
anymore.
right. That's right. Now, remember, Ralph, when he plays fantasy football, if he has a Saints player, they are immediately god-awful.
hey,
That's a known thing, the Ralph Malbrough fantasy curse.
Well, let me tell you something. If that's true, then I did the Lord's work today, because in the auction draft for Saints Happy Hour, I got Brady, I got Gronk, I got Mike Evans, and I got the Tampa defense. So
look, your articles never beat Les East. We got second place in the Louisiana Sports Writers Best Podcast. We didn't get first. Ralph is cursed, Dave. Ralph is cursed.
Yeah.
And all these Saints playoff failures that have been happening the last 3 years, you have to start wondering if it's not Ralph that's been the orchestrator.
The thoughts cross my mind.
I mean, this is, I feel attacked tonight. And of course,
You should.
Of course, Dave, this must be the greatest.
If you really, you know what? If you really cared, if you really were a Saints fan, you'd be banging the 0-16 drum right now.
What? No.
It's the only way.
What, we got to cleanse it with fire? No.
If you really want the Saints to win, you need to start saying they're going 0-16.
No. They're not going 0-16, and I wanted to bring up a point of, Andrew, that if Mickey Loomis is trying to invent ways to use other teams' cap to get the players that he wants, he basically initiated full mega nuclear YOLO and typed in the code, and the NFL disallowed it. But if he's willing to do this to get Clowney, some other YOLO move will present itself at the trade deadline. Is there any scenario that he won't do come October? I mean, this to me shows the Saints are all in on a level that we didn't even understand until we read it. Like,
they were about to give up a second-round pick for cap space. So no, the answer is no. There is nothing that Mickey Loomis won't do for a Super Bowl, and I mean, you got to give him credit for being creative. I remember there was this time where they were in not training camp, but I guess it was the combine, and they were trying to interview players, and technically, I guess there was no rule against interviewing players off campus, and so Mickey Loomis and the brass were taking players off campus, and they'd get coffee with them at Starbucks across the street from the combine, and other NFL teams were furious. They were like, how are you doing this? Why are you taking these prospects off campus? Like, we can't even talk to them. Why are you doing this? And Mickey Loomis is like, look, I remember him saying this in an interview. He's like, if other teams are furious and pissed off at me, then I'm doing my job.
I mean,
mission accomplished.
People laughed. Voidable years. Inside of voidable years, Dave, it looks quaint compared to let's use Cleveland Browns salary cap space to sign a free agent.
I think the next move is maybe using like the New Orleans Catholic Church money to like sign a player or whatever.
Too soon.
Here we go. Too soon.
But the thing that's a real bummer about all this is that if you read the article, it kind of makes it sound like Clowney was a done deal, and he only went to the Titans after the Saints shenanigans failed. In other words, I mean, to Nader's credit, who said it was a done deal, it sounds like Clowney was all set to go to the Saints, and it was only when the NFL put the kibosh on it and they couldn't afford it that he was like, well, I guess I'm going to the Titans because they can actually afford it.
Well, I mean, if they'd have pulled this off, I'd have loved it because whatever. They can trade back into the second round next year. They do it all the time. But how would you have felt if it had gone down like that, Dave, and they'd have got Clowney, but it had cost them a second-round pick? Would you have been nearly as excited, and would you have demanded that I turn off the techno music if it would have cost the Saints a second-round pick?
I mean, they pay him like full asking price, and we have to give up a second-round pick?
Pretty much.
I mean, whatever. It's like obviously they're going YOLO. Obviously, it's not even a question now that they're all in on this season. So, I mean, what's a second round pick at this point? Seriously.
Yeah.
What a half week though. Holy shit, guys! Like, first of all, unprecedented kind of Chimera navigation here with him being on the trading block and then coming back to practice, and now everything's copacetic, but he hasn't signed his long-term deal yet. And then all this Clowney stuff and Mickey Loomis with unprecedented cap shenanigans. I mean, even for Loomis, the cap shenanigans were weird.
He would have killed that. This would have killed Bill Barnwell, Andrew.
He would have died. He would have died on the spot. He would have had an aneurysm. His life would have ended.
I mean,
but yeah, I mean, like, what more do you want? Like, if you're a Saints fan and you watch this week in the entertainment that we got leading up to Brady versus Breeze, I just said Brady. Brady versus Breeze. I mean, does it get any more amazing? Are you not entertained?
I mean, here's the thing.
I'm going full gladiator here. Are you not entertained?
Loomis may be the smartest cap person in all of American sports. Like, I know Dave was saying he's playing chess and everybody else is playing checkers.
Billy Bean?
It's not even that. Like, he's doing something on a level that he's going to be giving TED Talks on how to do cap stuff. I mean, it's remarkable, and I mean, I'm just sad because it would have been the greatest. It would have been the greatest hashtag Loomis math thing
Here's
ever.
another way to look at it, though. Mickey Loomis has had like a lot of almost moves that have blown up in his face that kind of end up being like Ziggy Ansah. They're trying to go for him.
Malcolm
he was
Butler.
kind of garbage last year. Jimmy Graham, they tried to get him. He was garbage. There were some Ndamukong Suh. He was okay, but like, was he really worth what the Saints were looking at? So like, I just feel like a lot of times the Saints have explored like drafting Reuben Foster. That would have been a disaster, right? And they end up settling for Ramczyk. So I feel like a lot of times
they're lucky. Josh Norman,
right?
They're
like,
lucky as all hell.
Corner, Malcolm Butler, right?
Yeah, Malcolm Butler.
There's these things that sound like great ideas, and then they end up blowing. They would have blown up in your face if Mickey Loomis. So I feel like Mickey Loomis's greatest art is that he has failed to pull off deals that end up being terrible ideas. Like that seems like he kind of has luck to
Well,
go with his good decisions.
Here's
So
the interest.
I'm just gonna point this out, and Joshua Ford, he's on fire in the chat right now because he's got some great comments here. But
He's probably drunk.
He was probably drunk. He's been drinking clearly because he's on fire. But he says, watch this 2021 second round pick be a total game changer for the Saints, and he's right. Like now that we haven't traded that second round pick, watch it be like Michael Thomas 2X.
Here's the thing that's interesting with Loomis is, like you said, he sort of walked through the raindrops and they've avoided mistakes. But I just I can't imagine, Dave, that other teams are like, I don't even think other teams even contemplated what the Saints were trying to pull off with Clowney. Do you?
Right. I mean, other than the Browns, no. No, I don't. I have no idea. But to me, it kind of seems like, you're buying a house, right? Clowney's the house. You're buying a house. The Titans came in with an all-cash offer. They're ready to go. They've been pre-approved, whatever. The Saints haven't talked to a banker yet. They have no financial statements. They have no idea whether they can actually afford the house or not. They just really want the house, and they're just throwing out an offer and making an offer, and then they're going back to the bank and saying, "Hey, we need $600,000 to buy this house. Can we get it?" So I mean, to me, that's basically the situation. Explained in real life terminology.
Here's the thing that I had a brain freeze as I've been drinking a lot today. While I was asking that question today, it just poof disappeared. But here's the thought that I had, Andrew. Of all the people you mentioned, Ziggy Ansah, Sue, Malcolm Butler, Graham, the Saints eventually walked away because the price got too high. With Clowney, they didn't walk away. They looked at the price, like Dave said, and said, "We'll just have to figure it out. We want Clowney." Like they were all in on a way for Clowney. That's a little bit surprising in a sense of, like, Clowney would have been great and he would have been awesome and he would have been fun next to Cam Jordan and the hand grenade package with Rankins and Onyemata and Davenport. Like, it would have been amazing. But, like, I didn't look at it as, like, if you don't have Clowney, you're not winning the Super Bowl. Like, the Saints what they did, they sort of treated it like we needed Clowney in a desperate way to pull all these gymnastics off. Are we not seeing something with the defensive line that the Saints see, Andrew?
No, I think it's more just Sean Payton's an aggressive kind of guy. I really think Sean Payton calls the shots, and when he sees an opening where it's something that can benefit the team, he goes for it. It's like it's 4th and 1, and it's the second quarter, and you should probably punt because you're at your own 40, and he's just like, "Fuck it, we're an aggressive team, we're going for it." That's our personality, And I think that's it with Clowney. He's just like, "Fuck it, make it happen. Whatever we got to do, just do it."
Oh, and by the way, Andrew broke the news and beat Schefter and Florio and Ian Rappaport because in the Discord channel of patrons, somebody tipped Andrew off as like, "Hey, Andrew, Sean Payton flew to Houston and had dinner with Clowney, and they had a private chef cook him a meal." We broke that news. So if you're become a patron, get in the Discord channel. Not only do we have jokes and weird gifts, we break fucking news in the Discord channel.
Yeah,
so it's another reason to be a patron.
You know what other news I broke, Ralph?
What is that?
The news that your UDFA son was cut before.
Yeah, that was really.
Any other media did.
Dude, Nick Underhill had the UDFA son apocalypse. He had a tweet where he announced Throckmorton, Jones, Washington, Little Jordan Humphrey, and one other one. Like it was a UDFA Sun apocalypse and one Underhill team.
Graveyard. It was the graveyard of adopted sons. Yeah.
So speaking of that, Dave, do your victory lap.
Well, no, play the George Costanza clip again.
Do you ever just get down on your knees and thank God that you know me and have access to my dementia?
Yeah, I love it. It's just totally appropriate. It's the most appropriate clip for me. Yeah, my boy Malcolm Roach, defensive tackle, made the final 53-man roster. Did not get cut. Did not have to get signed to the practice.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
It is a marathon. Fortunately, things are looking very good for the marathon when you're actually on the team.
I will say, at least, Kevin's boy Tony Jones made the practice squad too. So the other three are all on the practice squad, and no one got a Zigbode. If you remember from last year when Ralph's UDFA son didn't even make the practice squad. So,
Kevin didn't make this show, and he didn't make the fantasy auction draft this morning, and he still had a better team than me this year and me last year.
No surprise. Wait, how do you auto draft with auction? How does that happen?
It does it for you. I don't know.
It bids for you?
It bids for. He's got a decent team. He's got Roethlisberger. He's got Julio Jones. He's got a bunch of people. Like,
it's probably better to have it auto bid because
it's better than spending $182 on Jared Cook
with your bids.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't overpay for anybody?
Did you get Jared Cook this year?
No, I didn't. I wanted to get Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but somebody spent like $70 on him. Somebody spent $43 on Drew Brees. Like, people were getting reckless in the auction draft today.
So, any Falcons, Ralph?
No, I went Tampa. I went full Tampa. I went full Tampa in the auction draft. I mentioned it earlier. I got Brady. I got Evans. I got Gronk,
Brady,
and I got the Tampa defense. I'm starting them week 1. The Saints are going to destroy them.
I got Leonard Fournette on my team.
Done.
I drafted Fournette.
So, we talked about the my fault. It's my fault.
I gotta say,
Clowney.
Well, go ahead, Ralph. Ralph.
Well, I saw that Lil Jordan was cut, but did he get signed to the practice squad?
Yes, yeah, he's on the practice. Interestingly, Emmanuel Butler did not.
No, the Godfather.
He's a goner.
The Godfather of the hype train.
Yes.
Yeah. I gotta say real quick that in our fantasy league for the podcast, I was not unable to attend the fantasy draft, and so I had my 10-year-old son Cullen do it for me. And I told before I left for tennis, I noticed I had the 7th pick, and I said, "Hey, listen, this is a Saints fan draft. It's a podcast draft. Everyone loves the Saints in it, so you just be resigned. Like you're not going to get Kamara, you're not going to get Thomas with the 7th pick." And everyone's going to draft Saints really high. They're going to overdraft Saints guys. So, you'll probably get a lot of good value, and that's great. Just make sure you don't draft any Falcons. It's a non-negotiable for me. I never, ever draft Falcons. And I get a call from my son on the way to tennis. And he's like, Dad, I got Michael Thomas with the 7th pick. And he's like, are you sure these people are Saints fans?
Yeah,
we went 6 picks, and Michael Thomas is still available.
I had the 3rd pick, and I did not take Kamara because I didn't want to put the Marlboro stink on him.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. That's the first good piece of judgment you've had this week, Ralph.
Right.
You go to hell.
It's a little too late to learn this lesson.
Yeah.
You go to hell. But the Saints are playing Tampa Bay Sunday.
Yes, so I got a problem with this. So my Islanders, we won. We finally won our series against the Flyers, and
4-0. I saw you pumped up in the chat, in the Discord channel, and on the Twitters.
And now the Islanders are in the Eastern Conference Finals, and Game 4 is 3:00 Sunday, the same time as the Saints game. So now I've got a conflict here. This is not something I've ever had to deal with. They've never had the Stanley Cup playoffs at the same time as football season.
Yeah, so what are you going to do? You going to split screen it, or do we lose Dave?
It's a pretty easy decision if you ask
Yeah, I'm
me.
gonna have to do 2 TVs or something. I mean, it's good that I'm not gonna be going to the game. It's good. It's a home game. Normally, I would be going to the game, but I'm not, obviously. So, I'll be home. I can watch both on 2 different TVs, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing that they're playing. We'll get to the game predictions and our
See,
preview of the
that's
game.
where I feel like you're kind of weak as a Saints fan, Dave. I mean,
What?
I love LSU. I love PSG. I love the Pelicans. But like all 3 of them could be in a championship at the same time, and the Saints could be playing Week 1, and I'm going to the Saints.
Okay,
I'm watching
excuse me. I haven't missed a Saints home game for like 11 freaking years. Okay, I don't need to be told that I am. I'm not.
Then the answer should be easy, right?
No,
The
you could
answer
if
is
you're
I'm
at
gonna
home.
watch
But if
both.
you're at
Okay,
home,
the Islanders haven't been in the Eastern Conference Finals since 1993. Okay, this is way more rare.
But if he's at home, you can do multiple TVs. I've done that. The Astros have had playoff games where they play a playoff game at like 3, and the Saints have played at 3 on
I don't know,
Sunday.
man. The Saints
So
are
I
on
mean,
TV,
yeah, I get it. If
I'm
you're at
locked and
home,
loaded. No
I mean,
distractions.
but if I was Dave, I would go to. I've gone to the Saints game when the Astros were in the playoff games and like furiously tried to check it on my phone. So like the Saints are number 1, but if you're at home, you can just figure it out with TVs. I get that. That's not a.
Thanks,
That's
Ralph.
not a breach of
Thanks.
etiquette of Saints fandom. But here's the thing: we got the Saints season. It's going to happen, right? We thought maybe it was a little dicey in the summer.
It's happening.
It's happening, and there's no fans, so it's hard to predict home field advantage. We'll get to the game later, but we got to do season predictions. You know, we always do. Hey, this is my season prediction. However many games you're off. Unless you're, I won last year because I said 14-2 and they were 13-3, so I was the closest, so I won. So Andrew had to drink an IPA, Dave had to go to Olive Garden. I forget about Kevin, but Kevin sent his prediction. He said Saints go 9-7, make the wild card. That's
weak.
lame,
That is,
Kevin.
Yeah. Not a lot of confidence at all, huh?
So Dave, I'll start with you. What's your prediction for the Saints for 2020?
I mean, it sucks to have to do this without actually ever having seen them playing at all. I'm feeling aggressive though. I'm gonna be aggressive. I'm gonna say 13-3.
I mean, I was gonna say Malcolm Roach made the team, so you got to keep riding the wave.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
How is preseason ever really like? When have the Saints had a preseason that swung you? And you were like, I thought they were 7-9, but now they're 11-5. Like,
never.
When does preseason swing you?
No,
2009 preseason was magical.
Yeah, it was.
Weren't they like 1-3? Oh,
No, they won the first 3 games by like 100-5. Like,
yeah,
they were just massacring people. Like, they literally played the Raiders in the 3rd preseason game, and Sean Payton was like, we're going to play the starters into the 3rd quarter, and they went touchdown, 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 and it was 28-0 early 2nd quarter, and they pulled everybody. Like, it was magical. That's a good point, but that's
so
rare.
Anyway, I'm gonna say 13-3. I think we've been hitting all the talking points for the last few weeks. COVID season, Saints are well equipped. A lot of veteran leadership. They've already got everything installed. A lot of their players know everything already. I think this is it. They didn't get Clowney, but they didn't need him. They were still. Just remember, Ralph, you were still pumped about this team before they lost out on Jadeveon Clowney. Remember that.
We'll get to my predictions in a minute. By the way, my Channel 4 column for the season preview, it is weird as all
I was
hell.
gonna say Ralph probably had to delete a lot of Clowney.
No, I just had to rework the Clowney. I had to rework the Clowney joke one time. Now I got to rework it again after I realized Mickey Loomis was trying to use Brown's cap space to sign him. But that column is really, really weird. It involves Taylor Swift lyrics. But if you're a patron, you'll get it early.
My 6-year-old daughter will love it.
Yes, I'm a Swiftie now. It's been a rough year, Andrew. It got weird.
Because you like the new song with Bon Iver.
Yeah,
were
that's the
listening to
one,
that on the
Andrew.
way home.
Dave, I quote it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
quote it. It's perfect for the
I heard
2020
that.
season.
I
And
was
if you're a
listening to that song
patron,
literally 30
you
minutes
get
ago.
my column early. You get all the jokes that Channel 4 sometimes pulls out. You'll get it on Tuesday. The rest of the world gets it on Thursday. Just so you know.
Yeah.
But
in
Dave,
case you want to feel special in your life.
they want to be special. They know we love all our patrons. But if the Saints are going
What's
13
the hotline
and 3,
number? What's the hotline number? Pump the hotline number.
the hotline. I had to. I gotta pull it up. Yeah, I told people to call us and call and insult.
Do we have any?
Insult me. You'd think I said it so many times that I would know it.
Yeah, have you checked it? Do we have any actual?
No, we had 210-595-0818. Call the hotline. Give us your season predictions and insult me. Blame me for Clowney. Keep it 30 to 60 seconds. We'll play them during the week for patrons
totally.
only.
Call and insult Ralph. What is it? 210-595 what?
0818. But Dave, if the Saints are going 13 and 3, who's going to have an incredibly magical season to get them there besides the usual suspects?
Besides Breeze, Taysom, Kamara.
Breeze, Thomas, like what's going to happen that's going to make them 13 and 3 that we aren't necessarily expecting?
I'm gonna say
It's got to be the second punter, Blake Gillikin.
no. I'm gonna say Emmanuel Sanders.
Ooh,
Emmanuel Sanders has like a Ted Ginn Jr. type. Like he's like he's super involved in the offense, and frees up. I think if you get that second receiver and you get somebody that's good, that has to be respected, I think that changes everything for our offense. And so I'm hoping it'll be Emmanuel Sanders.
Emmanuel Sanders does feel like it's 1,000 years ago when they signed him.
Yeah.
And you just forget about you forget about him, especially with all the news this week.
He's gonna have one of those David Patton, Ted Ginn type seasons.
So, Andrew, your season
Yes.
prediction for the Saints?
I've said 12 and 4 all along. I see no reason to back down from that now, so I'm sticking with 12 and 4.
That's weak. That's weak.
Yeah. The thing for me is that this roster is so deep. This team is so talented. Tough division, tougher schedule. That's why I go backwards a little bit from 13 and 3 the last 2 years. But I really think every time the Saints go into a game, they have a strong chance to win. If not, they're favored. Just in how good the roster is. So and how good the coaching is. So I'm going 12 and 4. And what was the other question you had, Ralph? Just like who was the surprise?
What's gonna be a player that's gonna be really good or really bad or whatever that we're not expecting that's gonna make the season.
I think Ty Montgomery will make plays here and there. I mean, I'm not saying he's gonna run for 800 yards or catch 50 passes or anything like that, but I just think Ty Montgomery will be Swiss Army knife X factor kind of guy that maybe scores 5 or 6 touchdowns this year and makes the offense even better.
Yeah, I'm going, and this is I'm gonna say it, and you're gonna think it's negative, but I'm not. It's not gonna be. The Saints are gonna be 10 and 6.
Oh, that's so negative, dude.
Because home field advantage is gonna be non-existent, and it's gonna be weird, and they're gonna have injury, and it's gonna be just a mess of a year, and they're barely going to get in the playoffs.
You don't think home field advantage will matter by the time we get to the playoffs, though?
No, I think it's going to be weird. It's only going to be half full. The home field is going to be weird, but on the flip side, your home field won't matter much. But on the road games will be easier, right? Because home field just won't matter for anyone, not just the Saints. But I'm saying 10 and 6. It's going to be really bumpy. they're going to need help to get in on the final week. And they're going to get in. And everybody's going to be like, I don't know about this. They're 10-6. They're going to have to win 3 games. And they are going to catch fucking fire and go to the Super Bowl. And we're going to be like, this is the team of the 4 years that got to the Super Bowl. The worst of the 4 during the regular season. And they're going to the Super Bowl. And I'm going to tell you who's going to get them there. Sheldon Rankins is going to be in the playoffs. And we're
that
gonna
would be so fitting that they didn't trade him.
And they're going to be like, you're going to read 9,000 articles Super Bowl week. The Saints were going to trade Rankins to get Clowney, but they kept Rankins, and he had 9.5 sacks.
Yeah, that's like one step ahead of the Joshua Ford idea that the second-round pick is going to be great. You're basically saying
next level.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Hey, while we're here, I just want to say, if you're on YouTube right now, I know we have about 40 people that are currently watching. There's a subscribe button on the bottom right, and if you get to 1,000, then we can monetize, and every single penny we make for the rest of the year is going to Lake Charles for the Hurricane Fund. And we've already donated about, Ralph, $150?
No, it's almost 200 because they had a guy on Twitter that was like, how much money did y'all raise? And I'm like, well, with the subscriptions, we raised $25, but I matched it and Andrew matched it, so it was $75. So that was $75. And then Cajun Alaskan donated $28.03 to get 2 T-shirts. Pam donated $20. And another person, Jacob, I think was his name, he donated 28 to 3. So do the math. That's where we are with the Lake Charles.
Well, there's a lot of Saints fans in Lake Charles, and I just want to say, we do this for fun, and this isn't an endeavor to get rich or anything. We really do this because we love the Saints and we love to have fun. But again, we can monetize once we get to 1,000 subscribers, and once we make money, then that's what we want to do with it. We want to help out Lake Charles, especially after the hurricane. If you're from New Orleans, and all 3 of us are, well, Ralph and I are originally. Dave lives there now, and it's one of those things where we know what Katrina's all about. That affected us, and so we want to help out, and that's one way we can do it. So every penny we make, once we start to monetize on YouTube, that's more money that will go to that fund. So please, if you're in the YouTube right now, just click on the subscribe button. That's all we need.
We haven't really touched on it because it was roast night of Ralph tonight, and that's fine. I'm a big boy. I can take it. But we haven't really talked about the roster much. And I know people get all excited about the roster. 53-man cuts. They cut Mario Anderson, but
sorry, what?
Who? I'm drawing a blank. Tommy Stevenson cleared waivers, but Andrew, is there any more moves you think they'll make between now and Sunday that might raise some eyebrows?
Well, they got to get Austin Carr back because he's still gone. So
Piano Man.
I mean, that's one move that's definitely going to be happening.
Who else is going to play piano for the team pregame?
That's right. I forgot about it. That's right. Yeah. That's why they keep her around.
Yeah, no. Mario Anderson, he went to the Mario Edwards, he went to the
Mario
Bears. Ryan Anderson,
Jesus
Ryan Pace
Christ,
thought he was
Ralph.
a tight end.
It's the second time he said that.
Mario Edwards.
Edwards, yeah. He's a Bear now.
Ralph sees Edwards, thinks Anderson.
I do.
Ryan Pace continuing to pick up our scraps.
Yeah, seriously.
Sloppy seconds.
By the way, did you guys know that I think it's Mickey Loomis's daughter or niece works for the Bears front office? Did you guys
know that?
I think it's his daughter.
Yeah, wow.
Ryan Pace hired her. Yeah.
Getting intel on the Bears.
Doesn't seem to be working.
No. No.
Not
no,
good
but
intel.
what's left on the roster? They got Gillikin, the punter. They kept 2 punters. They'll do some weird shenanigans Saturday, Sunday with that. But is there anything else, Andrew, that you could see happening?
Between now and opening day?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think at this point, the roster's pretty set. Obviously, like you said, there's going to be some shuffling. I don't expect Blake Gillikin to be active and on the roster come the Bucks game. But I think they're pretty locked in, and I feel great about the team. Look, we'll get a chance to talk about it a lot this week. We'll talk about the matchup between the two teams, but as we creep closer, I think the one injury that you really want to look for is Cesar Ruiz, the first round pick. Where does he play? Is he going to play center? Is he going to play right guard? I mean, all along the plan has been to put him at center, but I don't know that he's played enough in camp. He may not be ready for that, so they may have to put him at right guard. And if they do, is he going to be any good? So, is Nick Easton going to start at right guard? That's one thing that I'm really curious about and a little nervous about because Tampa's front seven is really good.
Here's a question that I totally forgot about the insanity that was Saints Twitter last night. Dave, your old friend Junior Galette popped in.
Oh, wow.
And,
he entered the chat.
Junior Galette has entered the chat.
And this is from the patrons in the Discord channel. Saints Rabbit asked, if the Saints sign Junior Galette, is the world ending that day?
Well, remind everybody what Junior Galette said.
He said he's better than Jadeveon Clowney, and he's healthy, and he's ready to go, and he's ready to let bygones be bygones. So the Saints should sign him.
And he forgives the Saints for all the pain.
Yeah, he forgives them.
Yep, it's true.
I mean,
he's better than Jadeveon. He's not even he's obviously.
He doesn't even have two functioning Achilles
off his meds. He's not even living in on the same timeline that we're living on.
Look, I know he keeps searching his own name on Twitter all the time. So whenever anyone tweets about him, even if they don't add him, he finds it and replies because he's always searching his name. I don't know how he's gonna find this podcast,
but he will.
But Dave, you should lock your doors tonight. Because you just said something bad about him.
And once he finds out you were the detective and you made the beach collage, he's coming for you, Cariello.
This is strike 2 and 3, Dave.
That's like Freddy Krueger.
So it's question time. So that means
yeah.
Do we get the Ralph Shuffle?
It's just for you two tonight. Because OBS literally melted at the start of the show.
All right, I wish you could see what was going on right now. Andrew was jerking somebody off into his mouth.
This song really has grown on me. So here's a question. Dave, this is a good question for you because you're a foodie.
Andrew
what are we
using
eating
two shake
while
weights
watching the game at home
simultaneously.
next week?
I'm just doing the Ralph Shuffle, man.
Yeah.
He's got 2 shake weights up around his mouth area. What was the question, Ralph?
What are you eating next week at home for the home game?
What am I eating next week?
Olive Garden, obviously.
I'm having Olive Garden catered. I told them I want unlimited breadsticks.
Could you eat
soup.
Olive Garden for 20 straight weeks if it guaranteed the Saints a Super Bowl?
No, I would not. That is not a sacrifice I'm willing to make at all. By the way, tonight during the show, I've been drinking. Since we didn't do it at the top of the show, I'm drinking Rally Cap Brewery in Baton Rouge. I'm drinking their designated SIPA double IPA. Very good, very good.
This may be the nicest thing somebody's ever said about signing up for the podcast. This is from Ambush in the chat. He said, I'm here because this is a birthday gift from my wife. The ads were embarrassing the shit out of her. Great marketing. I hope I never hear the words front trunk again. That's right. If you don't like the ads, which a lot of people don't, and I see that our 5-star rating on Apple is deteriorating because people that just do the free podcast, they hate the ads because we stuff it full of ads. If you don't like the ads, become a patron and you get the podcast ad-free. No ads ever for patrons. The rest of you people will stuff that podcast with 30. Eventually it's going to be 2 hours long. It's going to be an hour podcast and hour ads.
We're becoming like Yelp.
So Next question, Andrew.
Wait, I had a question about, what was that last question? I had a follow-up question.
Oh, just about what you were eating?
No, what was the, oh, never mind. I don't know. I wanted to ask you something.
Why? Who did the Saints cut to make room for Junior Galette?
Malcolm
Andrew.
Roach.
Oh my God, that would
It's
be
not funny.
amazing.
It's not funny at all.
If they sign Junior Galette
I don't
and cut
appreciate-
Malcolm Roach,
I don't
I will
appreciate
do
your
this
humor.
podcast next week if the live stream video can work. I'll do it in the nude, if YouTube would allow it.
Wow.
Take it to the top.
Malcolm Roach is going to get a sack in week 1, first game. It's over. It'll
How
be
many
over
times
after
are they
that.
going to sack Tom Brady, Andrew?
Huh?
How many times are they going to sack Tom Brady? That's a question.
No, he gets the ball out quick. Their offensive line is bad. We don't have Clowney. We'll go 3. I'm gonna go
Okay,
3.
look. Can we don't have Clowney? Can that not be a reason why we win or lose a game? That has nothing to do with anything. Like, you can't. Like, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Like, that's it. We suck now because we don't have Clowney, so we're only gonna win by 7 points.
17
17.
instead of 25.
This is from Mr. Po'boy. Why does Ralph enjoy jinxing the Saints so much? I mean,
Because he's Bartman.
Because he's a terrible person.
He is Bartman.
I like how everybody tuned into this live stream just to watch Dave and Andrew dump all over me because I was so excited and had so much fun Thursday. Y'all were having just as much fun as me. Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, you know what though? They were having fun, but you know what they didn't do? They didn't jinx the Saints.
I regret nothing.
I don't care. I still regret nothing. So
Bartman. I love it. That's your new nickname. Deal with it.
Ralph Bartman.
all right, so we got to get to Saints, Tampa Bay. Saints are a 3.5-point favorite. If you're a degenerate gambler like I am, you've noticed the lines are weird, mostly, except for the Thursday night game. That one's kind of normal. Kansas City is a 9.5-point favorite, but I feel like if there was going to be a full Superdome, Andrew, I feel like that line would be higher than 3.5. So the Saints are 3.5-point favorite against Tampa. Sunday, 325. Who you got?
I think the Saints are going to come out the gate and just kick the Bucs in the teeth. I think. Look, we got to remember the Bucs haven't had the luxury of OTAs. It's a new quarterback. It's a new system. And Brady is the ultimate preparation guy, and he just hasn't had the time and the opportunity to prepare properly. So I think when you look at the Saints, the third oldest team in the league, a lot of guys coming back that have already been there. There's a chance that at some point the Saints are going to get some injuries because they're one of the older teams in the league, and maybe they atrophy as the season goes on. But week 1, I think they're in the best shape to get off to a fast start. So I'm going to pick the Saints to win this game 34-20. I think it'll be a comfortable win, and I think Brady's going to look like shit.
All right, but who is going to be your...
They won't even bring him to camp. He looks like a star of the day for the Saints.
I'm going to go with Deontay Harris.
Ooh.
Breeze is going to show off that 50-yard laser. He's going to hit him in stride for a long touchdown pass. He's also going to run back a kick. So I'm going with Deontay Harris.
Dave, Saints, Bucks, who you got?
First of all, I'm just going to say I cannot believe that we are actually talking
We're
about,
doing this.
about a game that is going to be played, and it's going to be played within the next 7 days. It's officially game week. By the time you're listening to this on you're not driving your car into work on Monday, but anyway.
That's right. This will be the last Sunday night big show for a while, and now it'll move to Monday.
That's right. I was gonna ask, if we're going back to Monday?
We go back.
Yeah. So anyway, I cannot believe we're actually talking about a real football game. That being said,
Wait, are we going back to Monday?
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good.
A lot of these teams haven't really had that much time to gel, and Tampa Bay has a new running back, a new tight end, a new quarterback.
Their running back, if you're talking about Fournette, is like a week old. Less.
Yeah. But there's just we have no idea what to expect. Week one is always wide open on a regular season, but when you're talking about COVID and you're talking about playing in front of in empty stadiums with no fans, like this is totally uncharted territory. I will say though, I think the Saints will win. I think this is going to be enjoyable. I think we're going to enjoy watching Brady squirm a little bit. I'll say that. And I will say Saints 27, Bucks 17. And I don't want to be boring, but I think Michael Thomas will be the star of the game for obvious
They won't even
reasons.
bring him to camp. He looks like a star of the day for the Saints.
That's right.
Ralph, please pick. Ralph, don't jinx this. Don't do it again, man.
You picked against.
You're a curse. You're a curse, man.
Didn't you pick against the Saints like last year during their 5-game winning streak? You picked against them every week because you thought you had magical powers or something. No.
And it worked.
It worked until they lost, right? I'm going Saints 31, Tampa 17.
It's a loss then.
Brady's going to look old and decrepit kind of and throw a pick 6 to wrap it up for the Saints. And it'll be Janoris Jenkins getting the pick 6, so he'll be my
They won't even bring him to camp. He looks like a star of the day for the Saints.
Janoris Jenkins will be my star of the day. I'm just really curious to see how these games are going to look because Andrew, we talked about it on the Daily Show.
We have no idea. We are going in blind. We are
here's
flying blind, baby. This is totally crazy.
Well, I think we know that the quality of the football is going to be subpar. My question is, how is it going to be officiated? Are they going to kind of let that slide, or are they going to officiate it tight? In which case, I mean, easily.
Well, I'm curious about officiating because they've had 7 officials opt out because of COVID, and they are trying to keep officials
one of them?
within driving distance of games. So,
serious question.
I'm curious to see how the officiating goes, like Andrew is. But I just think, Andrew, you made the point on one of the Daily Shows this past week that, basketball you can play a pickup game and it's pretty normal. Baseball you can even play. It's pretty much you can play like a pickup baseball game and it's pretty much the same. You talked about how you can play tennis and it's pretty much the same with or without fans. But football, like none of these guys have played a game without fans, and a scrimmage is not a game, right? So this is just going to be weird experience for all of them, and I think Sunday at 12 for about a quarter and a half, it's going to be. I think it's going to be the strangest goddamn thing we ever saw, and it's going to be really slow and weird starts.
I agree. I totally agree.
So,
I think it's going to be totally fucking weird.
Where I think like baseball and other sports, you get used to it really quickly. I think fans and players, it is going to be weird, very strange. But the Saints are going to win, and that means we can fire up the hype train, which we love, and get people pumped up, because my email for Channel 4 is filled with people saying that they're done with the Saints for whatever reason, Breeze, politics, whatever. all it's gonna take is one win. They'll all be back. We can't resist the Saints when they win. It's an irresistible force, and we'll all be back. We'll all be partying. It's too much fun in this horrible year of 2020 to just give up on the Saints. So that's my prediction too. All these people will be back. So, is there any parting shot that either of you want to take at me? Go ahead.
No, I thought we were playing the dance music as the outro now.
Oh yeah, this.
No, that's the breaking news siren.
Oh.
We can play this on the way out.
I do like just isolate that just as the audio for the breaking news siren. That's cool. That would be cool. Yeah, that's the breaking news siren.
I regret nothing. Yeah.
So, thanks for everybody for joining us. Sorry about the video melting on OBS, but hey, you got good audio.
I really wish you guys could see this video right now.
Yeah. So, you got audio. Be happy with that. So, for Dave, for Andrew, for Kevin, who's MIA, I'm Ralph. Go Saints, and we until next. The bar's closed. Whatever. Go Saints. We'll see you in the week.
Let's go out.
I'm doing the Ralph shuffle.